I gave my husband an extremely dangerous allergic reaction by feeding my homemade banana bread to his mistress. And you know what? I'm not even sorry. 2 weeks ago, I came home from work early. Now, I didn't bother to let my husband know because, to be honest, I didn't expect him home. I didn't expect anybody home. My plan was to have a bath, not tell anyone that I'd come home from work early, just relax for an hour, and then my husband would get home. What actually happened was I turned up home to find my husband and our friend in the kitchen just laughing. Now, there wasn't too much to be suspicious about at first. They were both fully dressed. There was nothing untoward going on that I could see. And when I arrived, my friend's facial expression didn't change. She seemed very happy to see me. She threw her arms around me, cuddled me, and spent the next few hours talking to me. So everything seemed fine. It was only once she left that I kind of internally started to question how long she had been there and what were they laughing about. Because when I walked into the kitchen, I wasn't involved in the conversation. Nobody included me in the joke. We just started our own conversation. So it was playing on my mind a little bit. And then last week, my husband told me he needed to work late. This is not a regular occurrence. My husband never works late and doesn't really have the kind of job where you would need to work late. So it made no sense. I didn't question it. And then at the beginning of this week, my husband worked late. Again, I had my internal questions, but I said nothing. I need to reiterate that my husband's job is not the sort of job where you would need to work late. It's the kind of job where you finish at 5 o'clock and you forget about work. You don't need to think about it until you're there the next day. Is that kind of job, you know? So he calls me yesterday about lunchtime to let me know that he needs to work late. And I said, okay. And I don't know what came over me, but I had a plan. I had a terrible, terrible plan. My husband is highly allergic to bananas. So I went and bought some bananas. I made banana bread. And then I let my friend know that I was going to be dropping some banana bread round. And she was happy. Of course, who doesn't want homemade banana bread other than my husband? There's no way that he's going to come home and have a reaction in our house. I was on my hands and knees scrubbing that kitchen. It was sparkling. There were no remnants of banana in that kitchen. So I drop the banana bread round to my friend's house. And I leave. I get a call about 4 hours later. My husband had an extremely dangerous allergic reaction to bananas. I make my way to the hospital. And when I get there, the doctor starts to question me on, his allergies, what we have in the house, this, that, the other. In front of my husband, I say, Doctor, I don't know how this has happened. The only thing he's allergic to is bananas. And yes, I did make banana bread today, but I have completely blitzed our kitchen. And that aside, he's not even been home yet, Doctor. You see, I made this banana bread for our friend and I dropped it round there earlier and then this is the point when I turn to look at my husband. And I say, and I have no idea how it could transfer from her to him. How could that happen? It's safe to say that he knew exactly where I stood at that point. I didn't say another word. I turned on my heel and I left the room. And on my way out of the hospital, who walks in? We are literally walking directly towards each other. The friend. See, I'm not normally the revenge type of girl. I'm normally the cut you out of my life, I will never have a need to see you again kind of girl. But obviously, I was in a relationship with him, so it was quite important that I did get my revenge. But her, I had nothing to say. So as we're walking towards each other, she calls me. She calls me to get my attention, to say hello, and to ask how he's doing. I look at her and I tell her he's allergic to bananas. I'm surprised you didn't know. In fact, you should probably clean your teeth and wash your hands before you go up to see him. Clearly they think I'm stupid. Clearly they think I would never catch on to what they were doing. but I did catch on.